What's up, Laker fam? Welcome back to my channel. So there has been a lot going on in Lakerland recently. The Lakers officially announced new head coach Devin. I, for one, am thrilled about it. And he also gave his very first interview to the media where he talked endlessly about none other than Mr. Russell Westbrook. So I am here at my local gym basketball court. I'm going to interview some passionate Laker fans, see what they have to say about this new head coach hiring, and see if they think that this means Russ is definitely here to stay. Let's get into the video. Alrighty, I am here with Devin, a very passionate Laker fan. Now, I want to get your opinion on this. Obviously, the Lakers just introduced their new head coach, Devin, to the media. I, for one, am very excited. Was very interested in what he had to say. Talked a lot about holding everyone accountable. Seemed like he was going to really be tough on everyone. What do you think about this new head coach, and what did you think from this interview if you watched it?
I did see one interview. I mean, in my opinion, I like everything he's saying right now. Accountability was, in my opinion, the biggest problem of last season. There was everybody pointing fingers at each other, and it wasn't enough of that winning mentality, like that Mamba mentality. Like, in my opinion, I'm a Kobe Laker fan, so seeing where the Lakers were and where they are now, it's kind of like, okay, we do need somebody who's gonna come in, hold everybody accountable, and be that rock that everybody can lean on and believe in. So I feel like Devin is a perfect selection, and this is his first job. And he was talking a lot about how when he was younger he was shot in the face, and he's not scared of the Laker expectations, which everybody knows. Being a Laker fan, that's one of the biggest things you have to worry about are the expectations the city puts on you and the winning culture that we do have as a Laker.
I am here with Landon.
How you doing?
Now, Landon, the Lakers recently just signed a new head coach, Devin, and he just gave his very first interview with the media. I was very impressed by what he had to say. What were your thoughts on it?
My thoughts, I'm extremely excited with the new head coach just because he's going to bring that younger energy, and it's also the basketball players can relate to him because he's already a basketball player, and I feel like it's going to be a great turnout this year, and I feel like the Lakers are going to go to the championship once again.
Really? All
That's
right.
how I feel.
I am all for that. Now, if they are going to be winning that championship, it is looking like they are going to be doing it being led by their big three, Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Where a lot of people thought going into this offseason maybe Russ would be traded. If you listen to that interview with Devin, it definitely does not seem like that's the case. He talked a lot about Russ. He said Russ is one of the best players in the league, so he doesn't get the respect he deserves. So what do you think about that? Are you happy to keep Russ around?
No, I love to keep Russ. Russ is a bull, and a lot of people, they're always talking down on him just because things aren't going, right at the time. But Devin sees that heart in Russ, and I feel like the big three healthy, they're going to make it happen again. Because we, as fans, we had big hopes for the Lakers this past season, and the reason why it didn't work out is because the injuries and stuff happened like that. But you're going to see this year that it's going to work out with Russ, and it's going to be a great thing.
I love your positivity because I, for one, kind of agree. Obviously, last season didn't go as great because we had so many injuries, so we never really got to see, consistently, our big three play together. So it looks like that's what we're going to get to see this next season.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun, hopefully. The Lakers just announced the new head coach, Devin. He gave his first interview with the media. He talked a lot about, really holding everyone accountable with this team. He really made sure he was going to be really tough on every player. I personally really liked what I heard from him. I'm excited about this new head coach for him. What do you think? Do you like this addition?
Yeah, I like it just because, he's a fellow brother. So we got to get our brothers some opportunity.
Alrighty, awesome. Now, in his interview, he talked a lot about Russell Westbrook. So going into the offseason, I think a lot of people expected that Russ is going to be traded. I, for one, included. But after hearing Devin speak and say that Russ is one of the best point guards in the league still, says he doesn't get the respect he deserves, I am now thinking that Russ is going to stay this next season. Do you agree with me, and what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think Russ is here to stay. I really like Russ. I think the Russ slander is ridiculous.
Obviously, the big question mark after who was going to be the next head coach was Russell Westbrook. What the heck was going to happen with him? Were we going to keep him? Were we going to trade him? At first, I thought we were going to trade him. But especially with this hiring of Devin, and after seeing this interview where he talked endlessly about Russell Westbrook, called him one of the best players in the league still, said he doesn't get the respect he deserves, I definitely think that this means Russell Westbrook is definitely staying. Do you agree with me, and what do you think about this?
I would agree he's gonna stay because Russ even said that Frank Vogel, he felt like he had to keep proving himself and proving himself. That's why I feel like you didn't see that confidence that he usually plays with. So with this new head coach, I feel like it's gonna be a different Westbrook. I mean, it could be good or bad, who knows, but in my opinion, I feel like he's gonna stay.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm trying to see the positiveness because obviously last season Russ had a terrible year, but again, didn't really necessarily get along well with Frank Vogel, wasn't maybe the best system for him, so I'm trying to remain positive. I think, with the coach that really believes in him, he's going to maybe, run the system more towards him, and also we didn't really ever get to see a good portion of AD, LeBron, and Russ play together because of all the injuries, so I think he's going to stay, and I'm trying to remain positive about it. Now, my last question I wanted to ask you, in this interview, Darvin Ham also talked a lot about our younger players. He singled out Stanley Johnson and Austin Reeves multiple times, but he never mentioned THT. Now, I think that's kind of interesting because THT is the one young player that we've kind of invested. We're giving him $10, $11 million. So I think this means that THT is going to be traded this summer. Obviously, if we're going to trade, it's going to have to include a package that includes him. So I think personally, not only did Darvin Ham not mention THT, but also Rob Pelinka in his interviews after talked a lot about Austin Reeves and Stanley Johnson and how they're looking for them for the future, but completely left out THT. So do you think THT is gone? Do you agree with this? Would it be good? And what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I'm gonna start with Stanley Johnson and Austin Reeves. We already seen Stanley Johnson's impact on the defensive end when he first came in. Austin Reeves is just an all-around winner. You can tell just by the way he plays. He makes winning plays and does what is needed for the team. So I would say for THT, it's a matter of what he sees for him. Maybe he hasn't talked to him or hasn't had much to say, so I feel like it's kind of a feeling out process. But like you said, we have invested a lot into him. Lately, I feel like with the front office, it's been a lot of, okay, the players aren't developing, let's just trade them. So I see where you're coming from with that, but I'm on the fence. It could go either way. I'm leaning towards him staying because I do like his game, but he does have flashes of inconsistency and him being all over the place.
Exactly, I agree with you. Obviously, when you look at this Lakers team, we're a very old team. So you got to think of our future, like when Kobe retired and how all of a sudden we had nothing. We have to think of the longevity of the team, the future of this team, but also THT, if he's not going to be consistent, we can get something for him. I may be willing to trade. Now, another thing that really kind of got the lights flashing in my head was the fact that Darvin Ham talked a lot about our promising young players, and in that he said, really, you only mentioned Stanley Johnson and Austin Reeves. He did it multiple times. Rob Pelinka also gave interviews where he only mentioned Stanley Johnson and Austin Reeves. And I found it interesting because THT is supposed to be our big promising young player. We're paying him $10, $11 million, yet no one mentions him. So I think this means THT is going to be traded. If we were to do a trade, I think he also would have to be included in that package. So what do you think about that? And do you think that's the right thing to do, trade THT?
I've seen THT, and he's an incredible player. Now, as far as him not mentioning the name, that could possibly mean he's leaving somewhere. And if he was to leave somewhere, Lakers fans, I would say bring in Damian Lillard.
Bring in Damian Lillard. That's my favorite player in the NBA, so I want him too.
Yeah.
I would literally cry.
Yeah.
Like, I would actually die. Like, die if you want Damian Lillard. I know Phil hates me for saying this, but I love Damian Lillard. All right, so you think trade THT for Damian Lillard?
Hey, trade a few players, bring in Dame. We got ourselves a squadron. We can run it back 2 times.
I would do anything. I would literally trade my entire life for Damian Lillard.
Retire LeBron's jersey and put it in the Raptors.
What do you want? My arm, my left arm, my right? I'll give you a leg. I won't even train legs anymore if we don't have Damian Lillard, right? Alrighty, Laker fam, that's gonna be it for today's video. Loved hearing what you guys had to say about the new Laker head coach, your thoughts on Russell Westbrook staying, and if THT is gonna be traded. But I want to hear it from you watching. Comment down below what you think about this. Also, be sure to give this video a double thumbs up, like this video, and of course subscribe to the channel for more Lakers content. And don't forget to follow me on my social media handles. They will be down below as well. And until next time, Laker Hand is out. Bye everyone.